This man turned $53,000 into $48 million with a meme stock. But the price of winning? His entire life. Keith Gill was not supposed to win. He was a regular guy from Massachusetts who worked at an insurance company and lived with his parents. Wall Street had written GameStop's obituary. But Keith saw something they missed. What happened next would expose how rigged the game really was and why they could not let him keep winning. Imagine you are 34, working a dead-end job, watching billionaires get richer while regular people get crushed. That was Keith Gill in 2019. While Wall Street hedge funds were betting billions that GameStop would die, Keith was doing something crazy. He was reading, not just headlines or tweets, but actual financial reports. Late nights, spreadsheets, digging through data that nobody else cared about. He discovered something beautiful and terrifying. GameStop was not actually dying. The stock was trading at $4, but the company was worth way more. The math was simple. The opportunity was massive. But the people betting against it, they had unlimited money and zero conscience. Keith started small. He bought GameStop stock and posted about it on Reddit's Wall Street Bets with the username ingValue. His thesis was solid, but everyone called him crazy. You were throwing money away. GameStop is dead, bro. This guy is delusional. But Keith kept buying and posting. Every month, he would share his positions, showing exactly how much money he had invested, how much he had lost, and how much he still believed. Month after month, the stock went nowhere. His $53,000 turned into $11,000, then $8,000. His wife probably thought he had lost his mind. His coworkers probably whispered behind his back. But Keith had something Wall Street did not expect: patience. And then, something started to shift. By late 2020, other people started paying attention. Keith's posts were getting more upvotes, more comments, more followers. GameStop started moving from $4 to $6 to $12. The Wall Street Bets community was growing. Millions of regular people, teachers, students, retail workers, started following Keith's lead. They called themselves apes, and they had one enemy: the hedge funds shorting GameStop. Hedge funds like Melvin Capital had bet billions that GameStop would crash to zero. They were so confident they had shorted more shares than seemed possible. Some alleged naked shorting was happening, basically financial warfare against struggling companies. But Keith's army was about to turn the tables. From the outside, it looked like a meme revolution. Inside, it was a mathematical time bomb waiting to explode. January 2021. GameStop exploded. $20, $40, $100, $300, $483. In 3 weeks, Keith Gill became one of the most powerful people on Wall Street. His $53,000 was now worth $48 million. Hedge funds were losing billions. Melvin Capital needed a $2.75 billion bailout just to survive. But here's what Keith didn't know. The system was about to fight back. On January 28th, Robinhood and other brokers suddenly stopped letting people buy GameStop, only sell. The stock crashed from $483 to $193 in minutes. The game was rigged, and they just admitted it on live television. The media machine turned on Keith instantly. CNBC called him a market manipulator. Politicians demanded investigations. Death threats flooded his social media. Keith went from hero to villain overnight. The same system that bailed out banks in 2008 was now painting a Massachusetts dad as a financial terrorist. Meanwhile, the hedge funds, they got their bailout and kept playing. He was called to testify before Congress, sitting in a suit, looking tired and overwhelmed, while senators who had never read a financial report in their lives questioned his motives. "I'm not a cat. I like the stock." That line became a meme, but you could see it in his eyes. This was not fun anymore. Keith disappeared from social media for months. The man who had started a revolution just vanished. Think about what he lost: his privacy, his peace, his family's safety. He had to hire security because people were showing up at his house. He proved the system was corrupt, and the system made him pay for it. The people who followed him? Some made money, but most bought at the top and lost everything. The hedge funds that needed bailouts, they got their bailout by richer hedge funds and kept playing. Keith kept most of his millions but lost something more valuable: his normal life. So here's the thing that will haunt you. Keith Gill was right. GameStop did not die. The company pivoted to digital, paid off its debt, and is still here today. His analysis was perfect. His timing was perfect. His execution was perfect. But being right doesn't matter when the game is rigged. The real tragedy is not that Keith lost money. He actually kept most of his millions. The tragedy is what his story revealed about the cost of being right when you're not supposed to win. He didn't lose his fortune. He lost his freedom. So where is Keith Gill today? He vanished from the spotlight. No more YouTube videos, no more Reddit posts. Just a guy in Massachusetts who became too famous for his own good. Some say he's still investing, quietly. Others think he's done with stocks forever. But every time GameStop moves, people still ask, what does Roaring Kitty think? Keith Gill did not just outsmart Wall Street. He showed us that Wall Street was never about being smart. It was about who gets to play and who gets to win. And that game, it's still rigged.